Escape from Tarkov isn't perfect, but it still defines the extraction shooter genre, and not just because it was early. It is because no other game has matched its mechanical depth, risk and reward balance, and its tension. Plenty games have tried, like Call of Duty DMZ, Psycho Frontier, Marauders and Darker, but they've all been either shut down, lost momentum, or failed to retain a serious player base. And honestly, it's not a mystery why. At the center of Tarkov is one thing: consequence. When you go into a raid, your gear is on the line. If you die, it's gone. Your weapons, armor, ammo, meds, keys, backpack, all of it. This is called full gear loss. It's not just frustrating, it builds tension. It makes every decision matter. In contrast, DMZ lets you bring in contraband weapons repeatedly, and most unlocks are account-based. The Psycho Frontier had lower stakes, insurance systems, and simpler inventories. Marauders allowed loadouts to be duplicated and didn't develop long-term gear scarcity. Tarkov's economy, driven by scarcity, insurance gambling, and market volatility, creates emotional investment. It's not just a shooter, it's a survival economy simulator, under constant pressure. In Tarkov, there's no minimap, there's no enemy pings, and there's no simplified UI telling you where shots came from. The only thing you have is sound design, and it's so precise it forces you to listen. Indoor footsteps echo across floors. Wood creaks differently than concrete. Players with heavier gear make more noise, and suppressed shots still tell you something if you know how to listen. Compare that to DMZ. Gunshots show up on the minimap, pings highlight enemies, communication is streamlined for arcade-like speed, not realism. Tarkov demands you to think like a hunter. Most games just want you to click heads. Tarkov does not ask you, what gun did you bring in? It asks, what's in the magazine? It uses over 200 distinct ammo types, with different armor penetration, flash damage, recoil, and velocity stats. For example, the 7.62 X39 BP can punch through level 4 armor, but US rounds in the same caliber can barely scratch it. 9x19 RIP rounds do heavy flash damage but no armor penetration. Now let's compare that to other extraction shooters. DMZ, which simplifies ammo entirely. The Psycho, which used ammo tiers but not physical bullet properties. Marauders, which uses ammo types with limited variety and fewer real consequences. Tarkov forces you to study ammo, not just collect it. You can lose a fight because you didn't bring the right bullets. That never happens in most other games entirely. In most shooters, you heal by taking cover and waiting. In Tarkov, damage has insane layers. Light bleeds, heavy bleeds, fractures, dehydration, pain, blacked out limbs, concussion effects, temporary stat debuffs. You have to manage surgical kits to fix black limbs, painkillers to stay mobile, splints and bandages for specific injuries, and hydro and food levels over long raids. This matters because your aim is affected by pain and broken bones, movement slow based on limb damage, and you can bleed out slowly even after winning a fight. Other games like DMZ, they have armor plates and self-revive kits. The Cycle lets you heal mid-fight with medkits. Marauders uses basic health bars and food, but minimal penalty for injury. Only Tarkov treats injury as something persistent and meaningful. Now Tarkov's trader system, quests, flea market, hideout and player skills all tie back to your in-raid behavior. Completing quests unlock access to better gear. Your hideout progression affects crafting and regeneration. Skills like recoil control, strength and metabolism all level up based on how you play. Losing gear means fewer options later. You feel the loss outside the raid. By contrast, DMZ uses faction missions, but gear is not persistent, you can reset and keep going. The Cycle used quest lines, but without major economy control. Marauders had basic crafting and questing, but lacked long-term retention systems. Tarkov's systems are interdependent. You're not playing matches, you're building a career inside a simulated war economy. So let's just be clear, DMZ had tight gunplay and excellent Call of Duty polish, but it removed consequence by allowing soft recoveries, minimal gear loss and low stakes gameplay. It was designed to be accessible, not punishing, but that shows. The Psycho Frontier offered good environmental design and PvE and PvP balance, but had a casual tone, smaller stakes and less punishing loss mechanics. Sadly enough, it shut down late 2023. Marauders, good setting and good audio, but movement felt a little clunky, combat was inconsistent, and long-term progression was underdeveloped. Then we also have the game Dark, and that game has the right philosophy, punishing risky PvP PvE, but it's still in early development and balancing magic, melee and looting is extremely difficult. None of these games commit as hard as Tarkov does. Tarkov has spent years building an unified experience, where gunplay, fear, inventory and long-term progression are inseparable. Tarkov is not popular because it's fun. It's popular because it's challenging, unforgiving, and real in ways other games won't risk being. Until another game is willing to combine full gear loss, persistent progression tied to performance, realistic ammo, injury, and sound mechanics, and the kind of psychological weight that makes you shake during an entire fight, Tarkov will remain the top of the genre. That's just pure design. Now, but I have to be real with you, Dark and Darker might actually be better than Tarkov.